Okay. These are your two of the trusty rolling tools that you will use to roll your fascial tissue and your muscles. Let's start first with the supernova. I think you remember this one. And the muscles that we went over were the releasing of your psoas. So to find your psoas release points, you're going to find your belly button and then the top of your front hip bone, the very top of it. And then you find the middle point on the diagonal line of those 2 points. That's where you're going to place the supernova. And then you simply lie on that to start to release some of the tension in the fascial tissue and in the muscle. So this one, you don't so much roll back and forth because it's a short area. You're just going to release it, meaning you're just going to lie on it. And initially, you may only be able to be at this position on your elbows, but eventually you want to get to a point where you can come all the way down and you're lying flat like this. So once you're able to lie all the way down, getting your elbows down and getting your head down, you can then proceed to do arm lengthening and then leg lengthening and then arm lifting and leg lifting. And when you do that, the arm lifting and leg lifting, you can do in repetitions of somewhere between 5 and 12 reps. Initially, maybe you're going to only be able to do 5, but you'll eventually get to a point where you can do more upwards to, the 12 or 15 number. But 5 to 12 is a good range to be able to do. Same thing with the leg lifting. So you do that on both sides, the psoas release, side A, side B. Then every muscle has 2 attachments or more. Your psoas has 2 attachment points. When you're doing this top release, you're doing the release on the top attachment point. When you do the bottom release, it's at the bottom attachment point, and that attachment point is on your inner upper leg bone. So it attaches on your femur, on the inner thigh part of your femur. So leg out. Just put the ball right there. It's just really close to your groin. If you Google psoas attachments, PSOAS is how you spell it, the muscle. Your psoas attachments, then you'll see where the muscles attach, and it gives you a little more insight on where and why you're rolling in these places. But this is the bottom attachment of your psoas. And to roll that, it's a little bit of an awkward position, but maybe not. But you get it in that upper inner thigh at your leg bone. And this one you're going to roll side to side just because you have your leg pushed out to the side. So now in order to roll the muscle, you roll side to side like that. Okay. And then you do both sides. Some areas might be spicier than others. That might be a pretty spicy area because just for various reasons, but bear with it, bear with yourself, and give yourself, a couple of weeks of steady rolling for it to start to feel better and release and become less spicy. The next area or muscle that you'll roll is your hamstrings. Your hamstrings attach at the bottom of your hip bone, so the bottom of your pelvic girdle, and it's right underneath your butt meat. So they attach there and they come all the way down and they attach at the back of your knee. And it's 3 muscles. So if you're rolling your hamstring, you should roll in segments. So segment your leg into 3 parts. This outer part, this middle part, and then this side middle part. So here, here, and here. And you take your ball. Right now I'm going to do the middle part. Put the ball right underneath your butt at the top attachment point, and then you do little kneading rolls. And then you can go down a little bit and you start, and then you do kneading rolls. I generally break it up into 9 segments. So 9 up and down, 9 side to side. Vertical segments, horizontal segments. So you have 3 vertical, 3 horizontal, equaling 9 segments. Just because it's harder to like do long rolls of the whole muscle. You can do that, but I would also do and start with the shorter segment rolls. So little kneading rolls. Segment 1, segment 2, and then segment 3. The third segment is going to take me to the bottom attachment. The first segment is going to start from the top attachment to a third of the way down. And then I move the ball to the second vertical segment. And then I'll break that vertical segment up into 3 separate segments. So I'll go from the top attachment to a third of the way down. And then I'll go from the bottom of that first segment to another third of the way down and kneading rolls. And then the bottom of that second segment to the bottom of the third segment. Then after you've done all of those segments, then feel free to do the longer stroking rolls, but do the short kneading rolls first because you get tightness in your fascial tissue in different places. So then you do that, repeat that on side B. Third place to roll. Now we're going to go to the front of the leg again, to your quadriceps, and you just break it up into segments. So do the same thing that you did to the back of your leg. So break it up into 3 vertical segments and then 3 horizontal segments, and then proceed to roll. And how you do those rolls, you flip over, you come down onto your stomach of sorts. So you start basically right at your hip crease, and you start your segments from there. So you'll have an outer segment towards the outer leg, a middle segment in the middle of your quadricep, and then a medial segment towards the midline of your body. And just do those segmental rolls. And then once it's loosened up, it might not happen in that first time that you're rolling. It might take a couple of weeks. It might take a few weeks for it to stop feeling so spicy. When it stops feeling so spicy, then you can do those longer sweeping rolls, like so. Okay. Fourth place to roll will be your side body. And just think of it like the side seam on your pants. So this is your IT band. So we rolled the back of your leg. We rolled the front of the leg. Now we're simply going to roll in between that, the side of your leg. You can do this on this roller, or you can do it on the longer, more stable foam rollers. But similar thing. This one you have a little less space, but feel free to break it up also in segments. And you'll have a segment that's closer to the back of your leg. You'll have a segment that's closer to the front of your legs, because those front leg muscles meet and connect into the tissue on the side of your leg. So you get over onto your side, put your rolling tool there, and then you proceed to do your segmental rolls. Like so. And it's always between 2 joints. In case you haven't noticed, this we're rolling between the knee joint and the hip joint. Same thing, the side rolls, we're rolling between the knee joint and the hip joint. The back rolls, you're rolling between the back of your knee joint and the back of your hip joint. The psoas, you're rolling between your spinal joints and your hip joint, which is where the muscles attach. Another one is your QL. It's a lower back muscle, your quadratus lumborum. So this one is a release. You go onto the mat on your back. So that muscle sits right here, the top of your back hip bone, between the top of your back hip bone and your last rib and your lumbar spine. So it attaches here, here, and here. And to get to that, flip over onto your back, lift your hips up, and then you get the ball underneath your lower back between the top of your hip bone and your last rib. And you just lie on it to release it. You can put your hand here just in case to hold the ball so it doesn't fall or slip out. But then you let this knee fall out to the side to just kind of drape over the ball and hang out there and breathe until it starts to calm down and release. So that's your QL release, QL, quadratus lumborum. You can also try and get to your quadratus lumborum from the side. So you have your ball here, and you can simply start to turn over onto your side as you kind of drag the ball with you. So you're targeting the same muscle, but from the side angle. And it's this is a little spicier angle for a lot of people. So this is another way that you can help release your QL muscle. Okay. And I'm going to pop up. Now let's do the lower leg. So between the knee and the ankle joint. So if we do the knee and between the knee and the ankle joint on the back of your leg, it's your calf muscles. And same thing here. You just kind of break your body up, break that leg up into segments. So you'll have 9 segments that you're going to do kneading rolls. Start at the top, work your way a third down. You start from there for the next segment, work your way a third down, and the next segment you start from there and work your way down. So you get all the way down into your Achilles tendon, and you do these nice kneading rolls. You can do these rolls on your supernova ball, or you can do them on a foam roller or the plastic rollers. So you'll do the same thing that you did. 9 segments, 9 segments, 9 segments. Here, here, here. Okay. The front of your leg, your foreleg, your bottom leg, the pinky, the last 3 toes, that side of your foot, that's where most of the meat is, so where most of the muscle is, and it'll be easier to roll there. On the big toe side of your foot, it's mostly bone, so don't use this ball to roll there. So let's just focus on this side of the front of your foreleg. And the way you get to that, also, maybe you're going to break this into 3 segments or 6 segments. And you'll feel if you're rolling on the ball, if you're rolling on your bone, then just come to the left, more towards the pinky toe side of your foot, so that you're not on the uncomfortable bone. But you start close to your knee where you find more of the muscle, and then you do segmental rolling. So these kneady rolls. And then you work your way down. Okay, and the ball will slip out. It's a little You'll learn how to do it. It's not intuitive. It's not necessarily comfortable, but it's very beneficial to start unlocking the tightness that's causing you to have knee pains or hip pains or lower back pains. So that's your supernova and some very, very important basic rolls that you can start doing. You should already be doing them, Noah. And now this guy, your peanut. So your peanut, notice the shape of it. This is going to be for the muscles along your spine. So each of the balls will target each of the long muscles that extend all the way along your spine, from the back of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. So you can simply make sure this is in the middle of your spine so you're not on the bones. So we can roll like this. There's going to become a point, and you will feel it, where it's going to be hard for you to get to the muscles rolling like this. So at that point, you'll come all the way down, and then you can do these kneading rolls like this. Just support your head some way. Sometimes I like to put my fingers together, interlace my fingers, and create a wheel to help me roll. And then you work your way all the way up along your spine. You can do this side to side shearing, like you're trying to pull the tissue apart. So you shear side to side. You can do these figure eights. Once you get up between your shoulder blades, I'll move it up here. You can put your hands behind not behind your head to the floor, cross your arms and hug yourself really tight. And then you do these figure eight movements, rocking side to side. You can dig into the side a little bit more than the other, then rock over, dig into that side. And you do that all the way up your spine. You're going to get to a point in your spine, your neck muscles, that you'll need to use a yoga block or something to elevate the rolling tool, so then you could then lie back onto the yoga block to then roll in these muscles. Because right now, the floor is a bit too low, so I can't really get to my neck muscles effectively from here. So if I had a yoga block, I would put this up on top of a yoga block, so then I can let my head back and then roll in here. But that's your rolling tools. Rolling 101. Yeah, that about covers it. There you have it. A little bit of a rolling guide for you to start rolling more regularly.